Many people, when they want to start their fat loss journey, they have the willpower, they have the motivation, but most of the time they don't have the correct information and the right guidance. So in this video, I will be telling you how you can create your own diet plan if you're a complete beginner. Just get a pen and paper for yourself because you might need to do some calculations for yourself. The three most important pillars for creating your own fat loss diet plan would be setting up your calorie deficit, setting up your protein intake, and the food choices that you include. First, let's understand what calorie deficit means. Calorie deficit basically means that you're eating less calories than your maintenance calories. Maintenance calorie is the amount of calories that you need to eat in a day in order to maintain your current weight. The next concept is total daily energy expenditure, often called as maintenance calories. So this maintenance calories consist of four different things. First is your BMR, often known as basal metabolic rate. So it is the amount of calories that your body requires just to survive. The next concept is non-exercise activity thermogenesis, or NEAT. All the activities that you are doing in a day, like walking or taking office chairs, gardening, walking from one place to another, brushing your teeth, cooking, etc. The third thing is exercise activity thermogenesis. Now these are the calories burned while doing a structured physical activity like weight training, running, HIIT, etc. The fourth concept is thermic effect of food. So these are the calories burned to digest and assimilate and absorb your food. So let's discuss now how you can find your maintenance calories. First, you need to find out your body weight in pounds. For that, just multiply your weight in kgs by 2.2. Now, if you're a sedentary person like having a desk job or a sitting job, multiply this body weight in pounds with 13. This will give you your maintenance calories. But if you are someone who is slightly active, let's say you are working out and completing around 6,000 to 8,000 steps in a day, then multiply this body weight in pounds by 14. And if you are someone who is moderately active, for example, you're working out 5 to 6 days a week and completing around 13 to 14,000 steps in a day, then multiply this body weight by 15. And if you are someone who is extremely active, let's say you have a job that involves you to be on foot most of the day and you are involved in manual labor, so multiply this body weight with 16. This will give you your overall maintenance calories according to your lifestyle. This is just an estimate and not an accurate calculation. These calculators cannot predict what is going inside your body. So they just give a near accurate estimations. Now we will find how much calorie deficit you should be creating. There are two ranges of calorie deficit that you can create. One is a small calorie deficit that ranges from 10% to 15% from your maintenance calories. Another one is moderate to high calorie deficit that ranges from 20 to 25% calorie deficit. People with higher body fat can go with the higher deficit, and if you're not that overweight, then you can start with a lower deficit as well. You need to understand you cannot accelerate your fat loss process by creating a very high calorie deficit or eating way too less. So let's start with an example of a 100 kg person. We will calculate his total daily energy expenditure and a calorie deficit that he should start with. So for this 100 kg person, we will find out his weight in pounds. We will multiply 100 by 2.2, which gives us 220. So if you're trying to lose weight, we will consider that you are slightly active and not kind of, just going to sit around while you're trying to lose weight. Now we will multiply this 220 by 14, which gives us around 3080 calories. So we'll just start with some small calorie deficit, let's say 15%. So if we create 15% calorie deficit from 3080, it will give us 462 calories. So this is the amount of calorie deficit that we would be creating. Now to find how much calories you should be eating, we will subtract this 462 from 3080. This will give us roughly 2600 calories. So this is the calories that you should be eating in order to lose weight. Once you have this calorie number, the next important thing that we will be calculating would be your overall protein intake for the day. So the RDA for protein intake is 0.8 to 1 grams per kg body weight. While you are trying to lose fat and if you are going to include resistance training in your workout plan, I would suggest to have protein intake between 1.5 to 2 grams per kg body weight. Now let's calculate protein intake for that 100 kg person. So for a 100 kg person, we'll just start with 1.5 grams per kg body weight. So if you multiply 100 by 1.5, it will give you 150. So you can start with 150 grams of protein and can go as high as 200 grams as well. Some lean protein sources are chicken, fish, eggs, soy chunks, etc. So your protein intake is sorted now, and we will set your fat intake for the day. So how much fat should you eat in the day? Around 25 to 35% of your overall calories for the day can come from your fat. Let's calculate the fat intake for that 100 kg person. Let's say we are setting 25% fat intake from your overall calories. Then 25% of 2600 is around 650 calories. And 1 gram of fat has 9 calories. So it roughly means that person should be eating 72 grams of fat in a day. And also don't fall into the gimmicks of fat-free foods and 99% fat-free. All these things are just marketing gimmicks, and at the end of the day, your overall calorie matters whether you are going to lose fat or whether you are going to gain fat. The different food items that you can include in your diet to complete your fat intake would be fatty fish, walnuts, peanuts, all types of oil basically, paneer, etc. Next, we will be setting up our carbohydrate intake. So how will we be calculating our carbohydrate intake? It is simple. 1 gram of carb has 4 calories, so just divide the remaining calories by 4. Let's say we set protein intake as 200 grams, so 1 gram of protein has 4 calories. The total calories from protein would be 800, and the calories that we calculated from fat was 650. So the remaining calories would be the total calories for the day, that is 2600 minus the calories from fat and calories from protein. So this gives us the remaining calories for the carb intake. That comes out to be 1150. So if we divide 1150 by 4, it gives us roughly around 287 grams of carb. So this is your overall carb intake for the day. The different carb sources that you can include in your diet would be dal, rice, wheat, oats, suji, etc. Using the above calculation, a person can find out their calorie intake, their protein intake, their carb intake, and their fat intake for their fat loss. I just want to add that unless you put actual efforts and start applying this information, everything will be useless. This will be just another useful and informative video that you watch for fat loss. But from a productive standpoint, it was a waste of your 10 minutes unless you put in actual efforts. In the next video, I will help you design a sample diet plan for 1500, 1800 and 2200 calories so that you can take the reference from that diet plan to create your own diet plan. I hope this video was helpful, and if you learned something new today, please give it a like and share it with the people whom you think might benefit from it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.